People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange. Faces come out of the rain. No one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange.
Greetings, Earthlings. This is Too Hard to Swallow, a mega expose on the distasteful truths we find each day at the vector of food, beverage, music, and the social ramifications thereof.
Are you going to put that in your mouth? Seriously? Are you going to swallow that?
This episode, we debut the interview. The Doctor Chews the Fat with BMA-nominated blues singer Paula Harris. Then, Q&A with the Doctor. And finally, Chapter 1 of Penguins of the Flame.
Till you face the dawn with sleepless eyes. You don't know what love is.
Paula Harris's entrance to the blues world was a third-place finish at the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee, 2012. Her subsequent release, Turning on the Naughty, was nominated for Best New Artist by the Blues Music Association. A1 Blues awarded the album Best Female Blues Album 2013. She has been featured on 3,000 radio stations internationally, including Dan Aykroyd's Elwood Blues at the Crossroads radio show. Her latest release, Speakeasy, was named Best New Jazz Album by KALX Radio. She was named Blues Artist of 2019 by the International Music Entertainers Award, and she was nominated for the 9th time for Best Female Blues Vocalist by the Northern California Entertainers Music Awards 2020.
I wanna be with you. Tell me what I've gotta do. I just wanna take you home so we can be alone. You and me between the sheets, turning up the heat. You and me will be turning on the naughty. 'Cause babe, I got the time. You've got that body, yeah you do. You turn me on and I turn on the naughty for you. Babe, we need to leave this place. I wanna be in your embrace. Gonna let it all hang out. You know what I'm talking about. You and me between the sheets, turning up the heat. You and me will be turning on the naughty. 'Cause babe, I got time.
To all the lost and lonely souls out there, join us in a new rude awakening. Now, the true bastard of the blog, the media's manipulative master of abrasiveness, and just a really nice guy. Too Hard to Swallow's Dr. Daddy.
Welcome, fight fans, to my Virgin Bouts. Tonight we feature a down-and-out, brutal blogging of a currently oversaturated, starving state of affairs in local music markets everywhere. Here to defend her honor and join us tonight is the mighty mistress of soul, rhythm and blues, and one groovy, funky, get-down-and-dirty vocalist. The San Francisco and Bay Area's own, for now, rising star, Paula Harris.
Does that mean that I'm rising for now or that I'm living in the Bay Area for now?
I'm going to be nice in the beginning of the interview, so
Okay.
we're just going to... Welcome, mein Fräulein. This is Doctor's Bing Cherry Bustin' Blog. So you're my first one.
I like doing that.
Okay. Well, to be blissfully honest, I must confess I'm a big fan of your natural talent. So out of respect, and as my first interviewee, I will attempt to keep you from simply stalking out just yet, as I'm not ready to draw first blood.
Is that why you're sitting in front of the door?
But I do lie a lot also. Okay, just answer me this. What in the Sam hell do you think you're doing? I mean, the blues?
I'm making some damn good music, make people shake their asses, and I'm having fun playing with the best musicians around. A lot of musicians set goals for they say, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we got a BMA, or wouldn't it be nice if we could fill out one of the best venues in town? And I said, I want a Grammy, I want a BMA, I want to have a band with horns, I want to sell out every venue that we do. And I had like a list of 50 different things, and I went back and looked at it, and I've done 25 of them.
So, did you intentionally enter this profitless, wicked world of broken hearts, shattered dreams? What's the buzz?
It was a very intentional thing. I've done every genre out there, and I always came back to the blues, probably because it's the granddaddy of all the other genres that I was doing. They all sprang from it. And so the blues are deceptively simple, and a lot of people, because of that, think that anybody can do it, but they can't. There's a difference in blues and excellent blues. You want to be just taking names and kicking ass. You don't want to be mediocre. So if you're not taking names and kicking ass, then you need to do better.
Well, it sounds a little black and white. I'm sure it isn't once we get into it, but...
Well, everybody has opinions, and everybody likes various styles of music and bands, and so, yeah. But I will say this, the biggest mistake you can make is trying to please everybody. You have to please yourself, and you have to please your band, and the rest will follow.
So that's the formula. Are you out there taking notes? Because this is some seriously smart shit, I'll tell you that. Okay, just let's get down a little bit. And how and when did you start singing the blues, and why?
Well, I started singing the blues when they slapped me on the ass when I was born. And I started singing because they slapped me on the ass. But so, I have sung the blues my entire life, along with every other genre. But I retired there for a while when I got married and moved out to the Bay Area. And I felt like a big chunk of me was missing. And so I got back into it, and I realized, I'm too old to be out here screwing around, and I'm going to do it the way that I've always wanted to do it, but been too scared or didn't have enough money or what have you. And so blues is what I loved. Blues is what I naturally go towards. Blues is what I write. And I decided to just go for it. And that way, when I'm 90 and I'm sitting on the front porch, I won't have any regrets.
Just to string together a group of talented musicians and keep them happy while being underpaid and knowing there might be a future is a monumental task just in itself.
For me, it's been an humbling experience because my band and all the musicians that I work with are of such a caliber of talent that the fact that they have congregated around me doesn't give me a big head. It actually humbles me because the more I learn, the more I realize the less I know. It's one of those kind of things. And so I think that they congregated around me, but they've stayed because what we do is just such a joyous thing for any musician. It's very rare to get a band that has 8 people in it that all have that kind of talent. There's not an asshole in the bunch, and everybody, the chemistry is just off the charts. And most musicians, they would play for free to play under that kind of circumstance, although we don't, but that's just like icing on the cake.
Being undercut by the Diamond Dinner Basic Blues Dance Band or even a vaguely organized jam, this doesn't sound like a win-win situation for me. How do you do it and keep the talent in check?
Well, that's assuming that we're competing with the Diamond Dinner people. We're not.
So you're not?
No, we're not going for the rest. We're not a cover band. We're not going for the schmaltzy cocktail hour music. I mean, we're a band that people come to listen to because they like our music. We're not covering other people's music. We're doing our stuff. So people who come to see us are our fans, not people who like other music and they tolerate someone else playing it. The only thing that bothers me about what you call the Diamond Dinner crowd is that a lot of them will, if they're weekend warriors, so to speak. They have a day job. They don't have to make their entire income from music. And to classify those people in the same light as you do a band that is strictly musicians who make their 100% of their finances from making music is not only not fair, it's not accurate, because in most cases, the levels of the craftsmanship are not the same, because musicians devote their whole life, every day, all day, to getting better at their craft, whereas weekend warriors, they're a garage band.
Okay, so we've got a great band.
We do.
We haven't even talked about the name.
Oh, well.
Okay, give me a little background on it, too. Don't just
I call them the Beast of Blues, and that came about because
that's the core.
Well, they're all the Beast of Blues, and
Okay.
when we have the brass, we call them the Big Ass Brass. But the Beast of Blues...
The Big Ass Brass?
Yeah, the Big Ass Brass is still part of the Beast of Blues. It's just, they deserve their own little moniker. But the Beast of Blues came about because... if you look at my guys and you look at their backgrounds, they're all front guys. They all have bands of their own, and they're monsters on their instrument. I mean, they really are. Each one of them can be a front guy by himself. And so Monsters of Blues didn't sound quite as good as Beast of Blues, so there you go.
That was easy. Well, it's seems to me at times that it's kind of a competitive market out there when you're talking about the blues, but then you'll get people to say, well, I play this type of blues, or I play this type of blues. I mean, first of all, can you truthfully name any real successful top 40 selling blues bands that have come out of the Bay Area lately?
I can't name any that have come out of the Bay Area, but I can name a couple of bands that are top 40 selling bands that are not labeled blues, but I think that they fit the genre pretty closely, and that's Adele has a lot of songs that I went, there's a fire burning in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. That's blues to me, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
But then you've got Amy Winehouse, her album Back to Black, very blues to me. You've got there's a lot. If you listen to Duffy, that song, begging you for mercy. I mean, it's a straight up blues tune. It's just not labeled blues. So I think the blues is not dying. It's just being labeled other things. And when you were asking me about competition in the music world, any kind of music is competitive, because music is one of those professions that you can do something you actually enjoy and get paid for it. So everybody wants to do it.
Well, there's rock and roll,
Yeah.
there's jazz, and there's this, but there's so many different genres in the blues.
Yes.
And explain that to me. I mean,
I think
and what type of music you're working towards.
if you go under like R&B, you'd see rap, blues, soul, neo soul, all these different little micro genres of the different music. And so I think that the typical music fan probably has a wider disparity in their tastes than you would normally think. It's when you get down into those micro genres that the fans turn into these rabid, rigid, it has to be this and it has to be that, because they've split it down into such a small little fracture of the original family, the original umbrella. You've split it down into this little tiny little piece of defined music that has very rigid limits on it. And so when you ask me, what kind of blues are we? we're blues, but we're blues that is also we're like the redheaded stepchild of blues. There's a lot of jazz, there's a lot of funk in what we do, and those are natural because jazz, funk, soul, R&B, all of that sprang from the blues. And so you can take the blues in a lot of different directions and still be blues.
Well, I never thought blues had any limitations.
Well, I don't see why people are so worried about defining what it is. It's either good music or it's not.
All they have to do is go to your website.
Well, you don't have to find us just on our website, which is paulaharrismusic.com. But no, we're also in pretty much every publication in the Bay Area, both online and printed. Paula Harris Music on Facebook, and I'm on there daily, and I always update people on where the shows are and when they are, and if there's any like discounted tickets or anything like that.
Well, okay, then what's next on the horizon? Travel, a new album? What's around the mountain, he asks so inquisitively.
We're working on the second album. It's called Something Wicked, which is the title track of the album. And I think in this album, we've really figured out who we are as a band, what our niche is, and how we work best together.
Is this cover songs, originals?
No,
what?
there's well, I'm not sure that we're looking at 14 songs, and 11 of them are originals and 3 are covers. But whenever we do a cover, we chew it up, spit it out, strip it down to the bare bones, and totally redo it so that it doesn't sound like the original in any shape or form.
I think I read just recently someone had a price sheet, and it went all the way up to $5,000, and that was to play
Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally. And I have the circle with the bar across the Mustang Sally.
Well, I think I hit on one because when I told Terry Hyatt, I said, we're going to do I Will Survive on the album. He goes, I quit. And I was like, give me an angry 12-bar blues in G. And he was pissed because I was making him do I Will Survive. And he started playing this riff. And I started singing, I Will Survive over it. And he goes, that's actually quite cool. Mm-hmm.
So we've got most of the writing done. All the songs are in place.
The writing's done. The arranging is, I'd say 90% done. There's still a couple of songs that we need. We're massaging them now to make them the best that they can be. How about
Anything
that?
with the word massage in it makes an old Vegas boy like me happy.
Well, we're going to make sure you have a happy ending with our album. So.
Well, that's exactly what I want, and whatever it costs, it doesn't matter.
Gonna get up in the morning. I believe I'll dust my room.
The blues is the heart and soul of what we do, and everything is based on the blues and comes from the blues, and we're never going to deny that or try or forget that. But we do. A lot of people concentrate on the whole Blues Foundation concentrates on keeping the blues alive through the preservation aspect of it. But as a marketing major, for me and what I know that I can do and what this band is capable of, I think we can keep the blues alive by getting the word out there to a younger generation and a wider demographic that, it's not all just people on the front porch, slapping their feet and playing a slide guitar. It can be a lot of different things. And, and everybody says, well, what are the blues? You can't define them. I have asked every person I know involved in it, what are the blues? Nobody can give me a definition. And people are like, you're not blues. I'm like, well, what's the definition of blues that we're breaking? And nobody can give that to me. So the blues are this amorphous thing, and everybody kind of has a generalized idea, but there is no set definition of what it is.
So if you're curious and you do want to get involved or just catch this incredible act live and in living color, you can contact Paula and the band again at, one more time,
paulaharrismusic.com.
Well,
you can also Facebook me at Paula Harris Music.
Well, have you got any closing words you want to say in hopes that you'll bring out some more of the people that don't normally go out and listen to this type of music? Or
Well, I think a lot of people, you hear the word the blues and you think that it's synonymous with being sad or slow.
You've got to live the blues, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you got to understand what you're singing about. But a lot of the blues were a little baughty, a little impudent, a little naughty. And
give me an example.
I
think you
Big
do a couple.
Maybelle, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show.
Okay.
I mean, Sapphire, the uppity women of blues have a song called Too Much Butt for One Pair of Jeans. I have one on my album called I Just Don't Look Good Naked Anymore. I mean, there's a lot of, you can do the blues and not have it be maudlin. Although I love a good maudlin blues song as well as the next person, I don't want to sit through an hour of it. I'd like it as a break in between songs that make me want to dance, songs that make me laugh. I think you have to take people on a journey. So if they're thinking about coming out to one of our shows and they like funk and soul and blues and they want to hear a band that harkens back to when Lou Rawls and Ray Charles and Etta James played with the big brass bands in the 60s, then they would dig what we're doing.
Thank you again, Paula. And keep an eye out for the beautiful Paula Harris, the Beast of the Blues, and that big-ass brass band coming to you, or just go to them because it's something that is very rare and so very tasty.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Paula.
Dark night and a big red moon, spirits seeking to commune, something dangerous out looking for prey. Black clothes from head to toe, one look with all it...
To swallow or not to swallow. A candid and extremely revealing restaurant, bar, and dining advice column. Is what you chew really that new? Is that drink really what you think? The answer to your queries promise to be spicy and perhaps a bit frightening. So, be prepared for what you ask for. Yes? You want me to read the question now?
Yeah, would you please?
You can't afford me.
What an asshole. Mother, can you do me a favor and read the letter, please?
A curious listener asks, Dear Dr. Daddy, answer me this. Why all the mass closings of the classic dinner house? Everywhere I go, there are available signs on places my mom and dad used to take me on all our special occasions. We loved having our birthdays, Christmas parties, anniversaries at these great old locations. Dinner was always served with soup, salad, huge entree portions, massive desserts, and the strongest cocktails on earth. These special venues were open for 20 or 30 years. What happened, Dr. Daddy? I miss my gravy. Thanks, Jack.
What happened? Why, these dearly demented entrepreneurs simply took success for granted and didn't adapt to the times or the need to adjust to current economic situations. I mean, now, with all the small specialty shacks popping up with smaller tabs, the average diner will accept less quality and quantity with far less guilt. So, our fabulous old dinner houses are going. They're gone, and they won't be back, Jack. The prognosis? Sheer infused chaos. Our little taverns, pop-ups, pubs, dives, designer diners, each serving small bites with big tabs. I mean, burgers, sushi, duck a la orange, all shareable, all seasoned, all under one roof. One-stop shopping, no one goes hungry. My opinion? We are doomed. Thanks, Jack. Cheers, the doctor.
I'm telling you, man, this is going to be so groovy. Here's part 1, chapter 1 of Penguins of the Flame. Oh, dig it, man.
It's midnight, and another shift bites the dust. Yet the night is just waking. This is Vegas, my time. Post-Rat Pack, pre-disco. Pink blow and script lewds, caviar and goose guts. Perignon and Lafitte. Life. Dancing to the beat. And the herbage, it's there so never to allow the day to become too normal. This will be just an obscure moment in time revealed and open for your pleasure like the oyster nestled between the silky, deafening thighs of a swing shift chip hustler. But I digress. I am here, perched among the infamous Penguins of the Flame. Fringed breasts all in a row, tuxedoed sluts of tableside molestations, silk and satin soldiers, the true guardians of the Garridon. Cardan tux jackets hang draped on bar stools like the bloodied uniforms of a brief battle, though these are tattooed with the sweet splatter of Suzette sauce that, so far, has dried to the color and consistency of cum. Cigarettes burning in hair-singed hands, Fernet and Heinekens. A blanket of green momentarily stains the bar top, and here we sit at the end of the beginning. We are done reaping what we sowed, and now we are gathered to wonder, once again, what graft of corruption did we just perform to prostitute this, our art? for a stack of Jacksons?
Join the doctor next time as he brutally dissects the food and beverage industry's agenda to sell you what you don't really need to feed on. Find Too Hard to Swallow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and toohardtoswallow.com. Send your accolades and condemnations to toohardtoswallow@gmail.com. Next episode, a very bitter taste. Restauronics 101. Join Dominic and Irma on a wild goose chase for the American dream. Here's hoping every bite is a tasty groove and every drink a sultry song. Bye.